One word.
One word.
Quicksand.
That's 2 words.
One word. Quicksand.
No.
It's finally happened.
Welcome to Todd and Erin Daily Stream.
Finally.
There's no such thing as
finally
quicksand.
happened.
Really.
Guess where?
No.
Zion's National Park.
Okay, I don't believe you because I always thought quicksand was going to play a much larger role in my adult life.
Everyone did.
You watch Gilligan's Island and you watch all of like the westerns and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And no, they didn't have quicksand.
Yeah. See, my vision is back with the Tarzan things.
Oh, you would have loved that.
And you know, the Tarzan would be running along, all of a sudden, boom, he'd drop in, and some guy with a pith helmet would stand there and go, I don't know what to do. And so there was one international word, I guess, that was known to Tarzan, which was Watunga. Say it with me. Watunga. And
really?
what would happen is the chimp would go get an elephant. The elephant would come to the hole where this sand was, and quicksand, and he'd grab a vine and he'd throw it over and they'd drag him out just because he yelled.
Tarzan would say
Watunga, and then pat him gently, ever so gently below the eye.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Really?
But
now, where was this quicksand? What happened to this poor guy?
wait, there's more. In the Western, the guy's horse would come in and throw his, whatever those 2 ropes that you steer with.
The reins?
Yeah, maybe that. And then the horse would back up like this, and everyone would be saved. And it happened at Zion's National Park, and a guy actually went and got hit and fell in, and he got one leg up to the knee.
What exactly is quicksand? Because it's not like it is in the movies where it looks like a layer of sawdust on top of water. Like, oh,
You think of mud.
okay.
And you think of clay mud, right?
Yeah.
And it's low
Sticky
tide
and awful.
like this. It's supposed to be material that is suspended with a current of water, like a spring. And
So, it might look like solid on the surface, and then how do we
But
have
this
in
guy,
Utah?
one leg from the knee in, that held him.
The clay is really hard.
I'm not sure what it was, but it held him.
So he couldn't get out in winter.
Thank goodness he had his phone.
And a cell signal.
So he called. You know what he told him? He said,
Quicksand.
Watunga. And they went, and they just climbed in their safari jeeps and they came and rescued him. Who knew? Who knew?
You sure that's how it...
Pretty much.
Okay, we'll go with it. That's amazing. I'm glad he's okay, though. My gosh.
So this week on the show, I decided, I've been noticing all this stuff in the grocery stores.
Yeah, there's some kind of retro kick going on. Did we miss something? And
I don't know, but I'm going to call it Back to the, not the Future, because that's the stupidest title I've ever heard for a movie, even though it made billions. It's back to the stuff we had when we were kids.
So it's nostalgia.
We'll see, shall we?
It's edible nostalgia.
It's coming up next. Watunga. Say it. Say it with us.
Don't.
Watunga.
I'm not participating.
Flash to the past. Are you ready?
Blast to the past, you mean?
Flash to the past. I don't care what you're going to call it. It's not Back to the Future. That's stupid.
Okay. Oh.
I just saw these.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
I don't care
if I never come back.
And you know what?
And it says it's the original.
There is a prize in every one. Now, when you were a kid, could they taste the same?
Doesn't the box look kind of small? I kind of pictured it was...
Maybe we
Yeah,
were...
when I was 5, though.
We were giant... Here's yours. Here's mine.
Okay.
Prizes. A lot of like a monkey. A solid plastic monkey or a dog or a boat.
The big one for us was if you got a plastic compass, because the compass would sort of work and it was like, oh, we can explore around the neighborhood.
I know.
No direction we're pointing, even though we did. But
We could stay away from quicksand.
yeah, that would have been...
All right, so I'm just
I
wondering.
remember this part.
These were 3 for...
How much?
They were cheap.
They were 50 cents-ish, I think.
Yeah.
Back in our day. Boy, this does
Can't
not want me to open it.
my hands are stronger back. Give me this knife, which looks like a pen.
It's a pen knife, yeah. Okay.
But I've been noticing this trend. Don't take the prize out yet. Did you do that with... Oh, you didn't have sweet cereal, did you, when you grew up?
No. I learned to be a savage early.
I didn't either.
Liar.
I didn't.
We got sweet cereal once on our birthdays because my mom was a nutritionist.
All right, let's taste it. Is it the same?
Yeah, really. Bit of a little bitter bite at the end.
Uh-huh. It's like burnt molasses.
Blippa a surprise.
What'd you get?
I'll find out.
Wait, peel it open?
Mm-hmm. Another thing that only little savage hands apparently can do.
You got it?
Lift and peel, thanks.
Evidently, you have to have eyesight to do this.
You try to do yours.
Okay. And we're not going anywhere.
Apparently
I
not.
got it. My hangnail. Okay, so
What'd you get?
I have to go to an app. No,
Really?
Look. Read that.
How to blip a surprise.
What does that mean?
You have to go to the free Blipper app, and then your prize is inside. A fun digital surprise. So they don't even leave anything in. You don't even get a prize in it. You have to go online so that they can build their database of emails.
Here, move back so I can make sure I show this to them. So let me get this straight. What about little Johnny who doesn't have a computer?
This is very disappointing.
What about little Johnny? Little Johnny who doesn't have a laptop, doesn't have a phone. So now you have to go to an app.
That seems very deflating to me.
What
The whole point of
What happened to instant gratification?
that was the whole point. And what's this sleazy digital stuff? You were supposed to be an old-fashioned nostalgic treat. So what is this nonsense about having to go online to do anything?
We were hoping for a compass. Instead, we get an app.
There's no online compass.
Oh, you know what's going to happen too? I just thought of this.
What?
We're going to go there, and it's going to say, drink your Ovaltine. Like in the Christmas story.
Oh, that's so sad.
We just get ripped off the entire...
I'm not going to lie. I feel cheated.
We're not happy with you.
I mean, it tastes the same. I guess that's something.
Let's go back to our real time. How are the nuts? It's the same taste. Same taste. Same not bad. Shame on you.
I don't feel nostalgic at all right now. I feel betrayed. Like my childhood was a lie.
It was.
The Todd and Erin Daily Stream is brought to you by PC Laptops, with desktops and laptops starting as low as $7.99 with a lifetime parts and service warranty. They fix phones too. Go to PCLaptops.com.
Welcome back to the Todd and Erin Daily Stream. If you have been to the Grand Canyon in the last 20 years and your hair's starting to thin, there's a reason.
The Grand Canyon and follicle loss, what would that be?
For the last 20 years in the lovely state of Arizona,
Yeah.
the Grand Canyon and their historical center.
Oh, yeah, I've been to the visitor center. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go
Well-
through all the stuff and the rangers talk to you and they
Yeah.
show all the different, those are cool.
Well, over there in that closet, there was 3 5-gallon buckets filled with rocks. Guess what those rocks were? Uranium ore.
Uranium ore in buckets like a rock collection you'd pick up, except for that uranium ore is incredibly radioactive, and so
Right.
you
They
exposed
mentioned it's unhealthy.
visitors to the visitor center to radioactive material.
Yeah, basically for 20 years. Here's the imagine,
How did no one not notice
How about if you worked there
this thing? Well, you're a goner.
every day? You're bald by now.
I bet if they tracked that, they would see just a litter of.
Something.
Yeah. So wait, how did this happen?
So
What happened?
behind the wall where it was kept,
Yeah.
the buckets weren't sealed or anything.
Oh, thank God for that.
Because I
Because
don't-
why would
well,
you even try to do that much?
I don't think a plastic top would stop uranium. But anyway, that's just me. So basically what would happen was it was next to this great display where the kids on a tour would stop for 20 minutes at a time and listen to a lecturer. Now,
Tiny bodies that are much more
susceptible
to radiation.
They got stonewalled when they said, listen, we'd like some information on this because we need to know about the levels.
We'd like to know this stuff, yeah.
I want to know what tipped them off because they didn't have a
Didn't
Geiger counter.
the guy found it out, right? Some guy discovered it?
Right. But then they went for a Geiger counter, and they had to drive all the way here from Arizona to Utah to get one up.
Elston Stevenson, the safety, health, and wellness manager. Well, there you go.
Too late.
Wow. The radiation readings at first blush exceed the Nuclear Regulatory Commission's safe limits. Identifying who was exposed, your exposure level will get now super duper tricky. He sent several plaintive emails requesting, I really do need to know what's going on.
Because I was there.
At a basement at park headquarters for decades.
Right.
One of the buckets so full its lid would not close.
Right.
Oh my God, that 400 times the health limit, and to children 4,000 times what is considered safe. Now, this is the best part. Emily Davis, who's a public affairs specialist for the Grand Canyon administration,
That's when you
says
stand up and say stuff.
a recent review has shown no unusual levels of radiation into the visitor center. There is no current risk to the public.
What happened if you worked there and you were a tour guide?
The information I have is that the rocks have been removed. And there is no current risk.
They're not called rocks. They're called radioactive ore.
He said, I've never seen anything like this in my life. It was discovered by the teenage son of a park employee who happened to have a Geiger counter. And he brought the device to the museum collection room.
Who walks around with a...
Here's the deal. Once it was noticed, workers immediately moved the buckets to another location in the building, but nothing else was done.
And how did they select those employees to carry the stuff?
A few months later, he was assessing a safety audit when employees casually mentioned the uranium. He's a former Army helicopter pilot who later worked as a safety manager in the Navy, and he said, wow, that's bad news, and called a national park specialist in Colorado. They had to drive to Utah to pick up a Lubla meter, which also measures the radiation output. They didn't have protective clothing, so they purchased dishwashing and gardening gloves and used a broken mop handle to lift the buckets into a truck. But as Emily, the spokesperson, said, there's no current risk.
There's so many things.
You know, my mom was from southern Utah, from Hurricane, and my grandma, Fraser, was there with all of her sons and daughters, and they used to tell them at the time during nuclear testing, go out and see the beautiful sunsets, all kinds of colors.
Because all the particulates.
That's actually how John Wayne died of cancer, he was exposed during that period.
That's the word. And a lot of the people who were on cruise and stuff got sick, but...
Let's talk about something happy, because I'm getting really depressed.
You tell me something good then?
Yeah, this is a good Tell Me Something Good brought to you by our dear friends at PC Laptops. They are, by the way, having a magnificent President's Day sale. This is a really good time to go down and check out and see what they've got. And don't forget, it's always parts and labor, always covered, lifetime guarantee.
Okay.
All right, this is so cool. Now, one of the problems with a lot of solar panels is it's not something that you could use in a small scale space. Like if you had an apartment, you don't really have any way that you can do this.
You're speaking my language. You know that, right?
I know.
You're speaking my language.
You know, it's so if you're like a city dweller, you're not a homesteader, it's like you don't really have any options until now. This is really amazing. Researchers are trying different solar materials, seeing what would work for a larger multi-family occupied building, like an apartment building, which is the way normal people say it, Mr. Engineer, in this story. One of the problems they were finding, though, is that most of the solar sources they were trying out basically blocked all the light from the windows, and so your apartment dweller's like, well, that doesn't seem fun.
Right.
Here's what they came up with. It is a solar panel system. It's called Solagami. It works similarly.
Like origami?
It works similarly to shutter blinds, so light can still be allowed to pass through a window. And because of the folded design, similar to origami, of the system, it has an increased surface area, which means you have greater energy production. They say this could be a way of repositioning the city as a place of production, not just consumption.
Oh, right.
Now, here's the best thing, though, because traditionally most solar systems, especially when they're first designed, are extraordinarily expensive.
It's a big investment.
Yeah, it's a lot. What they're finding is because of the inexpensive materials of the panels, it's going to be fairly cheap for consumers. They won the International Award for Environmental Innovation.
That's very cool. So your glass is going to look like crinkle fries.
Well, no, but it's like you have a really beautifully folded blind in front of your window where the light can still shine through, but
And you
it's also
still have it.
providing you power.
That's very cool.
Isn't that cool?
President's Day. President's Day, I like to call it George Washington Day. That's where I'm going to stay.
That's a good day.
Maybe I'll throw Lincoln in. That's it, though.
We like him too.
Taft. Poor Taft.
Okay, I would like to point this out though. It used to be so much worse. Oh wait, that's another one. It's when we get to Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I'll tell you
Okay,
about that
all
one.
right, cool.
Because that was different when I lived in the South. But President's Day weekend is usually known for like the big sales. People go to the furniture stores and the rugs.
And I noticed the furniture stores.
Well, here's something interesting. They have a whole new crop of people who are actually called online influencers. They're called deal influencers. So they'll say, okay, this is not the best option. You might want to try this. And a lot of people are starting to follow them. But here's a genius one. One of the problems with furniture, for instance, is that you kind of want to sit on it, right? You want to know what it feels like. And does it have enough leg room? Can you lean back?
Right.
Is it,
and then you go home and you order it online.
That's exactly what they're saying. Take a picture of it, measure it, get the description, don't pull the trigger,
right.
and then go home and find it online.
Oh, gosh.
And this is interesting. She said a lot of big ticket items like appliances and stuff do have a 30% off deal. That's about an average. And she said that's not bad. But she
Right.
said there are certain things like electronics, they actually will bump up the regular price and then lower it to make you think you're getting a deal. She said you can always tell
Online
if you
or no, in the brick and mortar?
brick and mortars and online.
Oh.
She said that she had been tracking prices for about 2 years for the 3-day period before
Right.
President's Day, and all of a sudden she'd see the spike of the price go, poof, and then all of a sudden it would be 30% off because they could have to honestly state that it was 30% off whatever retail price it was.
Last thing I did they got to come up with a word. It's like dine and dash. Where I went in, I was looking at a camera lens, and I went in, and you want to feel it, you know, you want to take
know
it.
you're holding something?
It just really it has some weight to it.
Yeah.
And you put it on your camera, and you look through it and stuff, and you go, that's really nice, and you fold it back up, put it in its box, and like this, hey, thanks, have a good day, go home, and buy it for $40 less.
The brick and mortars
Does that
have
make
to be...
me feel bad? I'm a bad person.
No, but I think the brick and mortars have to be sure that they're part of the bargaining price deal system,
Yeah.
so that if you could still get the lowest price, you can just run down and pick it up.
I don't understand the mattress thing.
It's just
Why does everybody buy mattresses on President's Day?
traditionally that's what
Do
they
you have an urge right now to buy a
No,
mattress?
not really.
Me either.
Maybe we just haven't been Pavlovianly associated with it, so we're not salivating at the thought of...
Perhaps.
Let's move on.
Or the fact we have kids and we don't sleep a lot.
No,
All
so
right.
it really doesn't matter at this point. I'm really hoping that we have better skies. I'm really, really hoping, because this started...
Look out really quick.
The supermoon actually started last night, but you can see it again tonight. And it's interesting, they say as the moon rises is the best time. This supermoon is the biggest one of the year. It's closest to its orbit to Earth, so it's incredibly bright.
Give me percentages. Do you have them? 30%?
34% brighter.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. It's the closest to the horizon is when you'll get the big monstrous,
When it comes up,
looming moon. It's also called the snow moon. It's interesting. They used to call each month's moon something specific because it would be related to agriculture or lifestyle or whatever. It's also called the starvation moon because
This is
nobody
when-
got any food then.
Food, right.
Yeah, it's interesting. So the super blood wolf moon was very impressive in January, but they say this one should be much brighter.
All right, so stick around for that.
I know, I'm excited.
One more thing you're going to take away from the Todd and Erin Daily Stream today
There
is
is quicksand.
the emergency word that means everything to everyone, and it is simply Watunga. Like we've never taught you anything. There you go. You guys have a great day.
Don't forget to like and share the show. It enters you to win dinner for 4 at Christopher's Prime Steakhouse.
Watunga. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
I could say Watunga and our dog wouldn't move off the couch.
No, he wouldn't. He would look at you like, what's wrong with you?
No, he'd look at me like, where are the car keys? He's going to go down the dog park and pick up someone.
Okay, we have
Let's
to
just stop talking then. Okay, now we're done. 3, 2, Watunga, 1.